Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Discover Flagstaff. Arizona Beer Week is back from February 13th to the 23rd, and Flagstaff is one of the best places to celebrate. So, we swung up the hill and interviewed all the breweries from around town to see what they've got going on for Arizona Beer Week. Make sure you visit discoverflagstaff.com for more information on beer events and the happenings that are going down in Flagstaff. We hope to see you there.
All right, guys, you're the first guest today.
Oh boy, thanks for having us.
Long time, multiple guest, Ryan Sandlin.
Yeah,
from Dark Sky. Welcome back.
10 years running.
Yeah, damn man, that's right. Like, you guys were one of the original episodes.
I think so.
Of Tap That back in like 2016.
Yeah,
2017. So welcome back, my friend.
Thanks.
And we also have Nate from
Wanderlust
Brewing. So thanks for joining, guys. He even brought us some of the 928 local.
Yeah.
The legendary 928 local. Yeah. I've always loved the story of 928 local. So do you want to share that story?
Yeah. So it's a really interesting beer. And so the big thing about it is the yeast we use came from a batch of pressed apples that were made for cider, hard cider, and then they were left out in their buckets to do the farmhouse style fermentation and collect a wild strand of yeast. Then they harvested that off, and they found the best strand in there, isolated that, and now we have it in a lab that we use. So whenever we make more, we order up our pitch of local yeast that's unique to us, and it has the local flavors of whatever we caught around here. So.
Yeah. I dig it, man. I dig it. I've always liked that beer. I've always liked the story of it and the flavor of it and all that. And of course, I've always liked Dark Sky's beers, from the classics to the obscure. Man, I still go back to that sour you guys made that was like a gin and tonic.
Oh yeah,
that was fantastic. Do you guys still make that occasionally?
Well, it's whenever we can get our hands on gin barrels, which has been a long time.
Okay.
I kind of pulled back on the mixed fermentation barrel program just because it was so hard to manage. Now we're like trying to shrink everything back down a little bit.
Yeah.
Got out of control there for a little while.
Not out of control as in the bacteria, but
just hard to manage.
Yeah. Because you have to separate everything has to be.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. But guys, thanks for joining. I mean, this is huge shout out to Discover Flagstaff for, continuing to bring us on every year for Beer Week. It's, I love coming to Flagstaff. I mean, it's one of my favorite places in the world. So
it's the best.
It is.
It's great.
Yeah. So Beer Week coming up. How do you guys feel when Beer Week is approaching? Is it excitement? Is it like, oh shit? Is it a little bit of both?
Both. Yeah.
How do you get ready for Beer Week? I mean, how do you even decide like what you're gonna do? Ryan, start with you.
Well, for us, like now it's a little different because we have a distributor. It used to just be me trying to set up all these events, which was like really hard. But distributor Quail Health helps us a lot with that now, which is nice. Setting up collabs, like doing the Flag 8 again this year for the first time in I think like 3 years since we got everybody together to do like one specific beer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're doing a Phantom Fox collab tomorrow.
Nice.
And then that should be it. So it's a little disruptive to the schedule, but like you just kind of plan for it and just know it's coming.
For sure.
And for us, it's great because January slows down a little bit anyway. So it's nice to like really take our time and give these guys a break too, because summer is just full gas. So
yeah, for sure. What about you guys, Nate? Like, how long have you owned Wanderlust now?
Since June.
June.
This is my first look into Beer Week at all.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's just been trying to figure out what's going on. If I hear about something happening, doing my best to be a part of it. Like the collab we did with Dark Sky. So that was great to show up, and it was a nice chance for me to get to see some of the other brewers in town and really meet them in person for a little bit. And so it's been great for me.
Nice. Yeah. It's a great beer community, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Like
we hardly ever get the chance to do that. So it was fun having everybody there. It was like, I was like, holy shit, everybody showed up.
Yeah.
like he said, I haven't seen some of these people in like a long time, other than just in passing. So
for sure. So what'd you guys make? So did you guys do, is there a Wanderlust Dark Sky collab specifically, or were you talking about the
Flag 8?
The Flag 8,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What'd you guys make this year?
It's going to be a double dry hop rye West Coast IPA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody supplied hops from each brewery respectively. So it's going to have a lot of dry hop variation, but it should turn out pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. Nice. And what I like about when you guys do the flag gate, I feel like for the most part it's been pretty unique beers, right? It's not like plain to say like, oh, let's just do a Pilsner, or let's just do it, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But you guys tend to do, I think Baltic Porter was one you guys had a couple years ago, right? And I like that you guys, I mean, that's Flagstaff, right? Like, we're not doing shit normal. Like, we're doing, we want to do shit our way.
Yeah.
I like it. And then, so is it going to be available all around the state?
I think the plan is to keep most of it up here.
Okay.
You know, to go ahead of like the question you're probably going to ask later of like what we do up here. Like, it's usually Phoenix Beer Week, and like we got ignored up here for a long time. So now like with Discover Flagstaff and stuff, we're really trying hard to like push it here now. Yeah. So we're gonna do like a pub crawl, like have the beer at all different locations. Each brewery will have some of the beer also. So
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And I think that's one of the things I just love about Flagstaff just in general is like true walkability, right? You don't get that very often. There's not many places in Arizona that has that. Right. You know, you got like, I think you said Phantom Fox, right? You got that downtown Mesa that is really blowing up. Yeah. They've got some great stuff there. Yeah. But I mean, downtown Mesa doesn't have a beautiful view of the mountains. Exactly. Right? It's Mesa. It's got a beautiful view of the light rail. Yeah. And that's good people watching for sure. But no, that's great. So the walkability of it, I think, is great, and your place is super close too. Just a quick Uber ride away, right?
Yeah, it's really only a mile or two, which is
it's still even walkable. I tell people that all the time. Like, just because that little hill's right there, it separates the town like in a real weird way. Yeah. Where I'm like, it's not that far. Like,
that is actually a good point.
Yeah. The whole way there's a double wide sidewalk that's separated if you're biking over. It takes no time to bike when the weather's nice.
That's a beautiful bike too, right? Like, so that's I like that. Encouraging. I said Uber. You guys are like, you lazy bastards. Like,
go there.
Well, and there's, there's some good food over that way too. You got Satchmo's and Fat Olives and all that stuff. But so you got that beer coming. What else for you guys? What has Dark Sky got on the agenda for Beer Week?
We're gonna be pulling some barrels. We got a couple barrel aged barley wines that are like 16 months old now.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll do that. The Phantom Fox collab, doing a cool pale ale with them, keeping it pretty simple. Okay. It's kind of like the beer community has changed. Not even community, I guess. Like, the taste for beer from like people across the state has changed so much in the last 2 years. It's allowing us to make things that like we want to drink now too. Yeah. Like, we don't have to be crazy or stand out with these like crazy fruited sour things anymore. Like, sure. It can just be a pale ale. Yeah. And it sells, which is cool. For sure. Makes my life easier.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, there was a period of time where it was like lines out the door for cans and like people, they wanted the fruited sours.
I, for one, am so glad that's basically over. Like, that was just like so unsustainable. And we're seeing that now why it was,
Sure. Yeah. So, kind of evening it out a little bit, right? Yeah. It's
everyone was just trying to outdo each other. Yeah. Which, like, that's going to get nobody anywhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
What about any food for you guys? Like because what I like about Dark Sky too is, you've got, obviously Pizza Coletta, which is incredible, but then Atmosphere Kitchen you guys have too is incredible too. Any on the food side of things for Beer Week?
Yeah, we're doing a beer dinner. We did it last year. It's on Valentine's Day, so it makes it like a nice date night if you want to come out. And it's not like no reservations needed. You just show up and pay for the course dinner and sit down and eat at your speed, and it's real casual. That's why we built that place the way it is.
Yeah. Atmosphere?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, kind of more like a bar style rather than like a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But the food is next level.
Oh, yeah, those guys kill it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was a promise that we made to ourselves when we opened that place, to like stay true to like a higher end food option. Yeah. Because we took a trip out east, and every brewery there did like oysters, and like their food menus were just like so far ahead of what we were seeing out here. I'm like, why don't we try it? Yeah. First year was a little tough, but because people just like were like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, but I think people have finally caught on, and we stayed true to it, and now it's one of the I think it's one of the better kitchens in town now, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that people have been saying, what the hell are these guys doing about Dark Sky from day one?
I know, it never bothered me. I was like, whatever, I don't care.
Well, that's what I love about it, right? Yeah. I think I've told you the story multiple times, but so my in-laws lived up here, right? Me and my father-in-law would come to places and we'd go to Dark Sky, and he's like, dude, I just want a West Coast IPA. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, like this stuff is, I love the range of things that you guys had and the experimentation and all of that. I would always give them shit. Yeah. I would always give them shit about it.
Well, like the funny thing is, I don't know if you caught this. It was like on Facebook a while ago. Like people still think we just make kooky, weird beer. I'm like, we don't even have anything on that's like weird right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good or bad, we got the reputation for it.
Yeah,
but it did get us somewhere. So
for sure, man. Well, and that's where I think it's cool. The evolution of Dark Sky has been, to those crazy, I think 100 recipes per year for however many years. Yeah. Has that slowed down in the last few years?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Again, like another thing that was like completely unsustainable. Like you just run out of ideas, and it just, I don't know, wasn't making sense anymore.
Yeah. I dig it, man. I did a podcast. This was one of the last podcasts I did. I actually never released this podcast, but I did one in Oklahoma City of this dude. His name was Reed Jaskula, and he was one of the main dudes at Platform in Cleveland. Remember Platform? I think they were one of the last ones to sell to Anheuser-Busch. But he was talking about I think he said he did a few thousand different recipes. He's like, dude, I used squid ink in a beer one time, and he's like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
He's like, and squid ink is expensive. But through that experimentation, he learned so much, he said. And now, in Oklahoma City, his beers were on point, man. And same thing with you guys. I mean, it's, Yeah,
you learn a lot by doing really stupid shit. I've always done things the hard way, I don't know, learn by doing and fucking shit up.
Yeah.
I think it's better. You learn a lesson. Don't do it ever again. So
for sure. Well, and Nate, so you got your roots here, right, at Mother Road,
the brewing. Yeah, that's where I learned every part of the process, from off packing the canning line to brew days. So,
yeah.
And
so when you took over Wanderlust, was it just kind of taking over recipes that they had been kind of known for, or as a new business owner, how did you kind of approach that?
A lot of it was getting all the core beers figured out. We have a couple, 3 or 4 beers that we keep in rotation with our distributors around town year round. So it was getting the stocks up on that in a good place, figuring them out, making sure I was not bastardizing 928 too bad or anything.
Yeah.
No, don't want to get too many complaints.
People find they have a flavor. They're like, this is what it should taste like. They'll tell you, right?
And then depending on how busy I am figuring things out, I have a whole giant recipe book, and if I'm doing something different, I can go back to the old recipes. If I have a little more time to think something through and do something different, I've been able to do a couple things on my own.
Okay,
so it's a little mix of that.
Yeah, and do you like making the? I mean, to me, when I think of Wanderlust, I do think of the Belgian styles. I think of saisons and beers like that. And you guys also do a lot of great beers in general. But are you still kind of staying in that vein of those kind of classic styles?
Yeah, I'm trying to always have something like that on, and I really enjoy the IPA craze.
Okay,
and so I think I personally have brought a few more IPAs on at a time than Nathan Friedman would have. But but I've still made sure we have our Hefeweizen on, and a little bit. That's our summer wheat beer, and I a little bit overestimated that, and just about to get rid of it and bring on. We have a Dunkelweizen for our winter wheat beer.
Nice.
That should be around sometime this week. But it actually is almost winter here now, so maybe I did time it right.
Yeah, It's not winter here yet.
Yeah. Barely.
Ryan was praying for rain, for snow. I told him I saw some sprinkles in Kachina Valley?
Kachina Village.
Kachina Village, yeah. Yep. I thought I was going to be able to make it, and my thing was dinging. I'm like, I'm not risking it.
Yeah.
I'm.
Don't be that guy.
I know. Exactly. Hey, I got your direct number. I'm going to call. Hey, Ryan, I ran out of gas.
Oh, I'd come get you. Don't worry.
I know you would, man. I appreciate that. So what about you guys? Anything particular? You guys are doing this collaboration with Flag 8. Anything else that Wanderlust is doing for Beer Week?
Not much. We'll have some music over the weekend.
Nice.
And then on Sundays, we have a bluegrass jam that meets at the tap room. So
nice.
we should have a pretty wide variety of music throughout the weekend. And yeah, Sunday afternoons, it's a really nice time to come and bluegrass takes over the side room and they play their tunes and you sit there and listen. And it's a great day to read a book or do some other creative endeavor while you sit there and listen to some tunes. So it'll be basic tap room operations with a little more music going on.
Nice. I dig it. And bluegrass too, dude. That's the shit right there. Is Muskellunge still around?
No, they broke up a little while ago.
Yeah. I remember way back in the day, like they were the shit.
Yeah,
man.
the flag brew shows were always super fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They did that. I think that's where I first saw them.
Yep.
Yeah. That patio is. I mean, that's just something iconic about that.
Yeah.
Between music and people watching, like there's,
it's pretty awesome over there.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, before we wrap this up, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to, like, when it comes to leisure time for you guys. I mean, being brewery owners, I know that's few and far between. But when you guys get out and about in Flagstaff, like, what are some of your places to drink, eat, all that stuff?
I think the town has really good pizza selection. It's not a crazy out there food, but it's a good staple. And whenever I'm working behind the bar, I love getting Fratelli's pizza delivered over. That's a great one. Marco's has awesome slices, and then Pizza Coletta. They make such solid stuff, and it's always great when you can go get some Pizza Coletta and a Dark Sky beer with it.
Yeah,
that's an incredible evening. So
boom, look at that.
Yeah,
and a verdant shout out to Dark Sky in that too. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
How about you, man?
I mean, the downtown scene, the food scene is so good here. Like, it's kind of hard to make a choice sometimes, you know? Like, for us, like, date night would be like Annex, Atria, or Shift, or something like that.
Okay,
Drinking-wise, like, I love going to Uptown, hanging out there, like, kind of old-school vibes, like...
Uptown Billiards?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
great whiskey selection too.
And, of course, Yucca is always good for some debauchery late-night stuff, so, yeah.
I think the last time I was in Flagstaff that I really hit it hard, I was pounding church musics at Yucca, and dude, that elevation combined with
it'll get you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and those, church music is just high enough that it's like, man, this is really drinkable, but it's like in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, but it's like 6% or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's like Tower Station,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 2 of those, you're toast.
For sure, dude. Do they have the Lost Highway back? They did. That was my OG. We called it Blackout IPA because we'd come down on this patio and have, I think they were like 350 Imperial pints. I mean, my father-in-law, my wife would pick us up and she'd be like, "Did you twist your ankle?" I'm like, "No."
I'm walking normal.
This is normal. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for joining. I know you guys both have busy schedules, so thanks for taking the time to sit down and chat. And shout out to Discover Flagstaff once again for putting us all together. And you guys have some influencers coming up next weekend. I don't know if you guys were advised of that, but
maybe. I don't know.
Hollywood influencers.
That's not my. That's above my pay grade. I stay out of that stuff.
No, we got some good ones coming up. We got our girl Rachel from our team, Bierkowski. She's coming up. She's kind of joining the Discover Flagstaff team. They're going to take some handful of influencers. I think there's one coming from out of state that they're going to take them all around town.
Sweet.
So and what is that? Americana Motor Lodge is putting them up for I think 2 nights. So shout out to them as well. And they're even giving me a room tonight. So.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm staying the night, man. We just had our festival.
Yeah.
And it was great, but
need a break.
I need a break.
Yeah.
I told my wife I'm going to do this podcast and I'm going to have dinner at Shift. Tamara Stanger's there now. And she's like, "What are you going to do after that?" I'm like, "I might go to the hotel and watch Netflix."
Dude, you got to come play bingo at Dark Sky.
Oh, you done bingo tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's a party.
It's a rager.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
It's loud, people screaming.
Does it get like competitive? Count his card, check his card.
Oh, a lot of shit talking. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, man. That might be on the agenda then.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for just being awesome. I appreciate you guys. And, enjoy Beer Week and enjoy the coming winter.
It's here.
It's here. Oh, I do. I see some flakes out there now.
It's happening.
Nice. I brought that. Awesome. Thanks, dudes.
Thanks
for having us.
A quick shout out to Discover Flagstaff for sponsoring this episode. Make sure to visit discoverflagstaff.com for all the information on events, beer releases, and more happenings during Arizona Beer Week 2025 in Flagstaff.
All right, we're here for round number 2. I just noticed something like on the video side of this, if people are watching on YouTube, I'm always the closest to the camera, and I'm like usually the biggest person. So I need to figure this out a little bit. This is not an appealing angle of me, I've realized. But hey, you know
put
what?
you in the middle, make a little sandwich.
Yeah, there we go. The meat in the middle, man.
Work out both sides of your neck so you're not just like looking one way.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for joining. This is session number 2. We just wrapped up with Nate from Wanderlust. Nate 2. The second Nate. Yeah. Nathan, I always forget his last name now. I know Nathan, the original.
Friedman.
Friedman, yep. Had him on way back in the day. And so now we just had the other Nate on is with Ryan from Dark Sky. So those are some big shoes to fill, you guys. So hope you're up for the task. Kevin, are you?
Yeah, always.
Good thing we've been catching up and hanging out a little bit the past couple weeks, so I think everybody knows what's going on with everybody else a little bit right now.
Yeah,
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so first of all, shout out to Discover Flagstaff for setting all of this up. They've been bringing us on the last couple of years to cover what's going on in Flagstaff beer. So we love working with them.
Yeah, they get super excited for Beer Week. They're
Yeah.
more on it than we are about it because they start saying out, "What do you guys got events going on?" And we're all like,
yeah. Those emails start coming in
wait a second.
November, and I'm like, man, I'm still working on
"Beer Week's
December.
when?"
Yeah. Like, it's 8 days away. We still got time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Kevin from Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
What is your role with Grand Canyon?
I guess official title would be like brand manager, but
Okay.
as I'm sure you've experienced with a lot of other people in the past, you work at a craft brewery, you wear a lot of different hats depending on what day of the week it is. So,
Yeah. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Do you live here? Do you live in Williams? Like where?
I live in Belmont, which is a little bit in between both here and Williams.
Yeah.
It's a good place. I got kids and good area of town to be in for families.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then my friend here, Dylan. You've been you're an old an established guest of the podcast, and if you've listened to it in the past, people probably know you. But
third year now, I believe.
Yeah.
As you said, I think my first podcast was with Nathan Friedman out there, and I think it was Nathan and Ryan and I. It was the
that's
first time
right.
I sat down when we were sitting out there.
Yep, Alex.
Yeah, and Alex was there too.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
One
Thank
of
you
my
for having me.
favorites. What is your role here at Mother Road?
My title is director of hospitality, I think, but to echo Kevin, that it's any given day, it's different. Today it's physical things and look at the tap room projects.
Yeah.
Keep up with the building. Tomorrow it'll probably be accounting, financing, but really just heading up tap room operations on this side and any of our guest, community, shareholder interface kind of. Since we closed down the tap room at our production facility a few years ago, we moved everything here, and so I pretty much head up everything on this side because since our production facility is not necessarily open to the public.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do a nice job, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for reserving this whole entire room for us. Yeah.
I heard you were coming,
so shut it down.
Roll out the red carpet.
Exactly. I mean, it's a black rug, but I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
We could have at least put our company logo one right there.
Next time. But no, guys, thanks for always being great hosts, and thanks for having us in. And I'm excited to talk about Beer Week and just craft beer and Flagstaff in general, right? So one of the big things you guys are doing, and I think you said this is the first year this is back, is the Flag 8.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. You were part of the brew day?
It was a good time. It was good to get everybody back in the building again. Like I said, I think it's been at least 4 years since the last time we did an actual collab. I know last year we kind of tried to do a little like work together thing where we all brewed a similar style, but it was all done separately. It was good to get everybody back together and have it be a little bit more unified. And
Yeah.
That's right, because I think you were telling me earlier, like, oh yeah, this is the first time we've done it in a few years. I'm like, well, what about last year? But now that he said that, everybody did the same thing.
Yeah.
But just
it was like
separate.
we had one meeting. We were like, all right, everybody's going to do it on their own. Everybody do a Maibach and have it on your own. It didn't have that coming together feel that I think the collaboration does, and then sharing the kegs after that. So
yeah. Where'd you guys brew?
At Dark Sky.
At Dark Sky. Okay.
Yeah, they hosted this year.
Nice. And you guys did a rye West Coast?
Was it a rye? I don't know if it was rye.
Ryan might have added some rye into the.
That's something
Oh,
Ryan
that's
would
what he
do.
had some pale rye to it a little bit at the end.
Yeah, I think they kind of took the lead on all the hot side ingredients and just asked everybody to throw out our what hops we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he just kind of made a dry hop schedule out of what everybody had available. So
Nice. Little mishmash of all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there a name for it?
I think it's just the Flag 8
Flag-
idea. Yeah.
2025 Flag 8.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. And Roman numerals, so it looks like all cool.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice.
We decided we'd release that. All the breweries are going to have it on tap kind of the beginning of Beer Week. And then at the tail end, the last weekend of Beer Week, that Friday night, we were going to do a pub crawl with all some of the local beer bars and stuff around town. And go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. What are some of your favorites? And not to you have to pick favorites, but when you guys are going out drinking, what are your favorite beer bars here?
We actually, all of us split up the beer bars to say who's going to visit which spot and say, hey, can you put this beer on tap, and we're going to bring guests your way. So,
Yeah. So lots of
lots of them.
all
Yeah.
of them, yeah.
Well, I opted for Pay and Take.
Okay.
We're going to
Yeah.
Pay and Take, but also John over at Mountaintop Tap Room.
Yeah.
I think I'd try to drag my wife out to have a beer with me and say, hey, they got the football game's on TV. We can go watch the football game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hard to convince her?
No.
No. Well, I think the first time I met you, you guys was at their on the west side, because you and I had talked via text and I think an email. And
That's
then,
right. Yeah.
And then, in classic, 21st century fashion, I found you on Instagram to see what you look like. And then we're at Grand Canyon doing something, and I'm like, shit, I think that's Dylan right there. And I'm like, are you Dylan? He's like, yeah. I'm like, who the hell is
That's
this
funny.
dude?
Yeah. You're sitting at Shell's bar.
Yeah. Nice. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Beer Week coming up. You're going to do the Flag 8. You guys, what else? Anything else on the agenda for you guys for Mother Road for Beer Week?
So we got, let's see, Thursday night. It coincides that Beer Week kickoff also is the same night as the iHeart Pluto Fest with Lowell Observatory.
What is it? iHeart Pluto?
iHeart Pluto Fest. Yeah.
Nice.
Every year. Pluto's a planet up here in Flagstaff. But so every year they do a festival to honor Pluto and the discovery of it. So that same Thursday night, we're going to host a special Astronomy on Tap session where the historian Kevin Schindler is going to come give a little presentation, and we're going to release the official beer of iHeart Pluto Festival. This year is called the Boldly Go IPA. It's experimental IPA because iHeart Pluto Festival this year has got the Star Trek theme with the New Horizons that just went past Pluto, and so we've got that theme going on. Friday night's a Pluto pub crawl. It's going to continue that on with the beer release. And then the following week, we got a couple fun things. Greg's got a new double IPA coming out back there, and he's going to pour from the tank one night, kind of set up a session where he's going to hang out and talk about his beer in our downtown Pilot Brew House.
Yeah.
And then we have Cooler Runnings, which is on Friday. It's the 5th year of Cooler Runnings that's put on by Canyon Coolers.
Yeah.
So that'll be out at the Flagstaff Snow Park. Tickets are going to go live soon. Actually, I'm supposed to hear today that tickets go live, and it's the second year it's been a public event.
Okay.
It's always a good time to see all the carnage of people that make bobsleds out of old Canyon coolers. That's a great time. And then we're still haven't fully got it, but Jamie Thousand, who runs Statuous Barbecue and runs our kitchen over here, the Sidecar Grill, we're going to try to do a little beer dinner pairing that final night to kind of be the coup de grace for Beer Week for us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I like it. And then Grand Canyon, you guys are getting some stuff ready for strong beer, you were saying?
Yeah. So as far as Beer Week goes, we're just running happy hour on our beers for the entire course of that.
Open to close?
Yeah, open and close happy hour all the time. And then for the beers, our brewers have put together a lot of fun beers. We do a collaboration. We brew the house beer for this Castle Hot Springs Resort down in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And every time we go down there, they're always nice enough to let us pillage their farm, because they grow all their produce on site in that place. And so we got some Buddha's hand lemon, some Thai basil, some lemongrass. So we've got a wit brewed with the Buddha's hand lemons. Our brewers put together like a chocolate, like orange, almost like that chocolate orange candy.
Yeah.
Like barrel aged stout. I think our rye pale ale that's on right now, he's got a specialty version that I think he put in the barrel coming out for that. So those will be popping up at our tap rooms throughout the week.
Nice. That's cool. The Castle Hot Springs thing, because
Yeah.
that's like one of those destinations. Because I mean, it is like I have a Nissan Altima, and I'm like, I can't.
You can't get it out there now. I got to go down there because most of the time they've come up to us to kind of talk and pick up the beer, whatever. And then we'll deliver it. But I went down on the delivery, the last one, to check the place out. It's incredible.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere too. I lived out in the West Valley. That's where I grew up, and like had zero idea that like existed past Lake Pleasant.
Yeah. Well, they just revamped it over the last few years, right? Like it was kind of dormant for a long time.
Yeah, I think it caught on fire like 50 years ago. Or how?
Yeah.
Don't quote me on the timeline.
I just did, man. We're sending out the press.
But yeah, they revamped it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and the brothers. Is it the brothers' farm still? Like it was two brothers that ran the farm.
I don't know. The whole place is a farm. Like you sit down on the back patio and like there's like it's all growing like right next to you and like just all over the place. When you walk, there's something growing somewhere that they're cooking with it every day, changing the menu every day. And yeah, so it's been fun.
And it's an all-inclusive too, I think, right? Like you pay. I mean, it's it's a luxury type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But you pay and you're covered, like your food and everything, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that could be dangerous. I don't know if it's. I mean, if it's all-inclusive or if it's all you can eat. I know there's a difference, but if it's all you can eat, I'm getting double my money's worth somehow, right? That's what I do really well. But nice. So well, that's cool. And then I assume will you guys both be at Strong Beer?
Funny story. I will not physically be at Strong Beer personally.
Okay.
It is my wife's birthday, my son's birthday, and now
Same day?
Same weekend.
Okay.
They're
wow.
like 3 days apart from
That's
each
awesome.
other, and it always falls on President's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And then also now this year, my youngest son is playing travel hockey, and we're out of state for a tournament.
Okay.
So
okay.
President's Day weekend is a tough weekend for me personally to go out.
Yeah.
Tell my family like, hey, I know it's all of your birthdays, but I got to go drink all weekend. Sorry.
That's what you got to do sometimes. It's part of the job, right?
But no, we'll have a big presence there. We always get a big booth. We've got both our spirits and our beer up.
Nice.
We got some little like fun yard games set up, and so yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, Mother Road will be down there. Our sales team, Gordon, Stephanie, they'll all be there. And actually, as I'm thinking about it too, I'm like, wait a second, my in-laws will be in town that weekend down in Phoenix, so maybe we just go as a participant as well. So we'll be hanging out.
Put on like a fake mustache and so wow.
Shave your mustache.
Shave the mustache. Yeah. Just the mustache, right? We'll get that Amish look going. Yep. I dig it. So all right, before we wrap up, we've got Zach from Historic coming up next, and Kelly from Lumberyard coming up next. But one thing I'm throwing out to everybody is like on your times out in Flagstaff, like when you're just kind of enjoying yourself, what are some of the places you eat and drink? Like, what are some of your favorites?
Cool.
I mean, it's hard to say when Grand Canyon has like the best strombolis in the world. But.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, I love Yucca. It's a great place to go and just drink, and it's a older crowd in a college town, so I enjoy that.
Yeah.
The Italian restaurant in town, Cafe Stella. I've been a big fan of that place.
Okay.
And then obviously my kids, I got to mix in pizza at least once every other time we go out. So I have invested a lot of my money to Fratelli up here. And
so you're part owner, part unofficial owner?
Could be.
Dylan, what about you?
I mean, us, wife and I, and being beer drinkers, say other than the breweries that we bop around to, no matter what part of town we're in, during that time where we're running errands or we're getting off work, it's there. But we usually go to, if we're going to put on a nice shirt, take a shower, and go to places, Shift and Teatro are two places we always love going out to date night to. And then, like I said, Mountaintop Taproom has been our hangout lately. I'm not a huge football nerd, but it's like, it's Sunday afternoon. We finish all our chores for the weekend. Let's go have a big mug of beer over there.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, man. People are listening to this episode. They're creating a list, so keep adding to it. But guys, thanks for joining, and appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, Eric. Thanks
guys.
for having us.
A quick shout out to Discover Flagstaff for sponsoring this episode. Make sure to visit discoverflagstaff.com for all the information on events, beer releases, and more happenings during Arizona Beer Week 2025 in Flagstaff.
All right, so we're here. This is the third group to come in, third and final group. So thanks for joining. You guys have both been on the podcast before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, several times, right? So thanks for coming back. You just introduced us to your sister, Corey, who's back in town from San Diego. Corey, welcome back to the
family
snow.
Business is growing. We've added, the next family member back to help run the brewery.
Nice.
So learning the ropes and
awesome.
Seeing the beer scene. She went from the horse scene to the beer scene. So.
Okay. Welcome back to the beer scene. Yeah. So, we got Beer Week coming up. First of all, big shout out to Discover Flagstaff for putting us all together, continuing every year to bring us back for Beer Week for these fun projects. And yeah, they're just great. They do a lot of stuff that I'm sure that you guys get to benefit from as far as bringing people into town and
yeah, they're great.
Cool
Discover Flagstaff, huge supporters of our breweries. It's something that's really big up here in Flag is having that craft beer scene, having 8 breweries in a small town like Flagstaff, and most of them you can walk to within walking distance. It's unusual. There's just a couple that you'd have to either take an Uber to or start there and then head downtown.
Yeah, and it's great. They organize all these things together for us, which can bring us together because otherwise we're all in different directions and they kind of solidify it all.
That's good. You need those wranglers, the people that can bring it all together.
They are wranglers, yes. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So shout out to them, Sabrina, and I think Isabel and Lori. They've just been incredible. So thank you to them. And big shout out to Americana Motor Lodge.
Yeah, they've been huge supporters of the beer scene up here, too, since they've opened up. It's really cool what they did to the hotel. It's not directly downtown, but, it's another good place to see a different part of Flag and another part of Flagstaff's history.
Yeah, they're going to put me up tonight too. So thank you guys, thank you. And it looks like a really cool place.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, they're going to be putting up the influencers next weekend for a couple of nights. So shout out to both of them. And when I was talking with Ryan from Dark Sky and Nate from Wonderlust, we're talking about how everything's very walkable. I said and even Wonderlust is like a quick Uber ride away. Ryan's like, dude. It's like you can walk there. He's like, don't
from
be
the Americana, you could walk there for sure.
Yeah. He's like, don't be deceived by that hill, because
it's fine.
It's not that far.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like that calls out my laziness right there. But
we'll just see if it's snowing that week too.
That's true.
Now we got the snow today.
It could be a full adventure to go a snow adventure across town.
And there is a little bit of a hill, so you can sled one way.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Take your sled with you and go.
Yeah.
Man, we're coming up with some great ideas already. This is going in the right direction so far, guys. Nice. So let's introduce yourselves first. You are who from where?
I am Zach Stoll. I'm the head brew guy over at Historic Brewing.
Excellent.
And Kelly Hanseth, owner of Lumberyard Brewing Company and Beaver Street Brewery.
Excellent. Staples in Flagstaff. I would say beer, but beyond even beer, right? I mean, because patio, food, cocktail. I don't know who it was. When we sent out a newsletter for Beer Week coming up, the thing that we threw out was which I still love the idea of the Pie Hole Porter Old Fashioned.
Oh, yeah.
You guys still got that rocking?
Oh, for sure. I love that thing. That's what I always get when I go over to the...
That's incredible. Yeah. And I mean, you know how much I love all of your guys' stuff.
The Irish egg rolls.
The mac and cheese. But you guys do the
mac and cheese balls. Yeah, the deep fried mac and cheese. The Kansas City one. That's the one you like. Yeah.
That changed my life.
Yeah.
Not for the better. Like, I think I put on an extra 10 pounds because I can't eat mac and cheese without barbecue sauce now.
Nope, it's too good.
But, all right, so with Beer Week coming up, Kelly, always prepared. Not that you weren't prepared, Zach,
I'm never prepared. I never know what's going on.
Let's start with the Lumberyard then in Beaver Street. Like, what's going on for Beer Week?
Yeah, we have, some of our classic events that we do every year. We do a big beer and whiskey event. That's kind of our biggest event that we do. Yeah. And we can collaborate between Lumberyard and Beaver Street, and then some of our liquor purveyors as well to bring in the whiskey.
Okay.
So, whiskey and beer are very similar in the origins that they're made. They're both made out of malt, just different ways of creating the alcohol from them. So they're very related together. So we take beer and we pair it with whiskey, and then our chef, Ruben, comes up with a dish to go along with it every year. This year we're doing like barbecue barbecue from around the world. So he's got his creative brain on creating some Jamaican barbecue and Korean barbecue and some Moroccan lamb that sounds really delicious.
Wow.
So we do that in Brews and Keys, and that's going to be Tuesday the 18th. And tickets are on sale for that. They're $65 a ticket that we sell online through Lumberyard's website. It's the easiest way to find them.
Okay.
But then we got a couple other fun events going on. We're going to do beer and Girl Scout cookie flights because it's February. We're actually going to do that on Valentine's Day at Lumberyard. We do a wear it and drink it day at each brewery. So if you come in wearing your Lumberyard or Beaver Street gear on that day, you get half off pints.
Ooh.
So it's $3.25 a pint, I think, right now if you do that. So I think it's worth getting a hat on and coming on in.
I think Zach's making his own list
I
over
know,
here.
right? He's like just gonna start adding things to the calendar here.
So with the whiskey thing, I mean, I know that's always been like a very, very popular thing. Like you were saying, that's one of the main things you guys do. How do you choose the whiskey? Like, what do you? Is it always the same whiskeys, or are you mixing it up each year?
We try to mix them up. So we're going to be doing it this Thursday. Is our big pairing day, which is always a big fun-filled afternoon of
R&D,
drinking whiskey and beer, trying to pair them. The first couple years that we did it, we had a master of whiskey come and help us pair the whiskeys and beers. So we learned a lot of information from him, and how things change each other, taking a sip of the beer to a sip of the whiskey, and then the whiskey to the beer, and see how they influence each other. So some, it's interesting. You'll take go from whiskey to beer, and then the beer all of a sudden has no hops in it, like at all.
Interesting.
So they'll kind of, take things away or add different flavors into it. Like bourbon usually goes really well with our Railhead Red.
Okay.
They're both, a little bit sweeter and play off like those fruity notes. And then obviously the big smoky scotches go with the darker beers. That's generally an easy one.
Yeah.
And then surprisingly, our raspberry, the Red Rock Raspberry, pairs really well with whiskey. It's really surprising, and you would never think about it, but surprisingly always has an interesting pairing that you would have never expected.
Excellent. That's really cool. That's a cool concept, right? Because it's typically one or the other, right? You're pairing food with beer, or you're pairing food with whiskey, but to combine those two.
Do it all together.
Yeah, I dig that.
It's a fun night.
I dig that. Zach, what about Historic? What are you guys up to?
I think the first thing we're doing like a launch release party for our Bear Arms Imperial Stout. We're now putting it into 16-ounce cans, 4-packs. So that's my big project for the week, and we're gonna have a release party thing. Other than that, we're doing like a paint night where you come drink some beers and paint whatever they have going for that one. That's Wednesday, I believe.
Like a guided painting.
Yeah.
Nice. And is that downtown?
Yep. That's all downtown.
Do you guys still is the East Side tap room open still?
Oh yeah, okay. We're open there. That's where I'm still making the beer. That's where you come to see me, and we're cranking down there. But we try and get all of our events for Beer Week kind of here in town, because then it's easier to go hit all the different breweries instead of being out there at the East Side. I mean, we're fun out there. We're just out there.
Yeah, I love it out there, man. I love it. It's got a special place in my heart. It really does.
It's a different atmosphere. When you're drinking inside a little brewery like that, have a nice patio, it's fun to hang out.
Yeah, and get to talk to the brewers. We got this new guy, Eric. He'll talk your ear off.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Brewing science. He'll just ramble off things for an hour.
Yeah.
So he's a big nerd.
I could be like, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's how I am all the time.
He draws you back.
Like, dude, I got work to do. I don't need to know about the pathways that this yeast is using to create alcohol.
I've loved how it's grown too. Like when I first started dating my wife in 2008, and her parents lived like right at the base of is it Mount Eldon over there?
Yep.
Yeah. So that tap room was super close, and so to see it go from like I think it was just that one side of the bar to now it's
this
really
big thing. Yeah, going from the 4 fermenters to now we're up to like 11 and taking over the entire building and really expand our production. Made the tap room a lot more comfortable. We'll say.
Yeah. I dig it. So nice. I mean, you guys are both staples in craft beer here in Flagstaff, so always doing amazing stuff. I mean, and it's interesting, right? Because when Beer Week comes up, it's like, okay, what do you guys doing to like? Well, first of all, we do kick-ass shit all the time.
Yeah.
So, but now you got to step it up even more, and
make another reason for people to come visit the brewery.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, I know you guys are both busy, so we'll get this wrapped up, but. When you guys are out and about in town, in Flagstaff, where do you like to go? Like, what are some of your favorite places to eat and drink and hang out?
Are you going to defer to me first?
Yeah, I'm going to defer to you.
We just went to happy hour for my mom's birthday on Saturday.
Nice.
And when I go, I'm not necessarily always going for beer. I like my wine as well. So we actually went to Teatro and had a nice little happy hour menu there. A nice glass of wine is always good. Honestly, if I'm drinking beer, I'm normally at Brews and Q's having a beer after work.
Playing pool too, or
playing
just
some pool. Not always
Yeah.
anymore, but playing some board games, just hanging out. It's a nice, cozy atmosphere for me to kind of be a step away from the business, but still be somewhere comfortable.
Yeah, I dig it. Zach?
I think one of my favorite places is probably Beaver Street.
Okay, yeah.
I just love going there. I love the food and kind of the atmosphere, and you always know you're gonna have good beer too.
Yeah.
So it's real, just comfortable for me. Kind of like just feels like home, kind of. Weirdly, it's not my home, but it still feels like home. Other than that, like I love Cafe Stella. I've been there a couple times with their fresh pasta.
Yeah. I think it was Kevin from Grand Canyon was just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that out for the first time a couple months ago, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. So. Where is that?
Aspen.
Aspen, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I love coming to. So, interesting little thing about me. I don't know if it's how long it's been since I've seen you guys, but I quit drinking last February. So, it's been almost a year for me, which is weird because I kind of built an identity around being the guy who drinks beer. So now I come up here and it's like a whole new world I'm exploring, because normally I'd be bouncing around to all the breweries, but like, I'm going to go to Shift for dinner tonight. And my wife was like, well, what are you going to do after? I'm like, I might just go watch Netflix at the hotel. Like, I don't know. I need a real break.
Okay.
Yeah. But so what used to be everything was evolved around like going to breweries as much as I could is now I'm exploring more. It's like the world has opened up to me.
Well, Flagstaff still got a lot to offer.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it with the snow's starting to come down.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Just fun just to watch the snow out the window. Too.
Yeah, out the window. That's the key. I don't want to be sitting out there. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for joining. I know you're both busy, so thanks for taking time out of your day to come and chat. And
thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Have a good beer week. Once again, thank you to Discover Flagstaff, and keep drinking Flagstaff beer. So awesome.
Happy beer.
Thanks, guys.